I want to share what I'm drinking, which is tea, because I want to be more intentional now, moving forward, to be more present in a lot of the daily things that I do. Sure, I can be listening to a podcast and watching some informative video while doing certain things, but still I really want to be present in the things I'm consuming. And in the state right now, in this period right now, that's tea. I will share tea that I'm using, and then we can get started this way. Okay, I'm going to be very, very careful to show this to you. So this is actually a tea board, which I will use as a cheese board, but right now I'm using it for tea. And I've got these two pieces on it. I'll show you how it works. So with tea, usually it comes in 3 pieces. The first one is where you have a teapot. And today I'm not using a teapot because I've used a teapot already for a different tea. I'm drinking a different tea now, so I'm changing a pot. And this is, you could drink it directly like this. You know, you just lift the cup, you stop the leaves, and you drink it this way. And this is your classic, very classic Ming Dynasty Qingbai, this light teal teaware, and it comes in 3 different sets. It's I forgot what this is called, but I don't know what this is called in Chinese. But anyway, this is where I put the tea. I've got tea leaves in there. Put the tea in, hold it, pour it out. Then, as much as you can drink it like this, the reason I'm not doing it is because I'm pouring it out into this tea pitcher. The reason you pour into a tea pitcher is because, so it doesn't really make a difference when the teapot is so small, but when the teapot is really huge and you have a lot of, you could have different flavors along the entire teapot. And so you don't want to be pouring tea into the cups when you have a difference in flavor. So what you do is once you have tea in there, you put it into a pitcher, it mixes the flavor so it's more even, and then you pour it into a small little teacup to be drinking tea, which is what I'm doing. So I've got teapot, tea pitcher, and then teacup. The reason you're also using this is because unlike the British tea or the flower tea, so for example, I drink a lot of Earl Grey. And I love Earl Grey. The way I drink Earl Grey is I put the tea bag into the teacup. I leave it for about 3 to 5 minutes. Then unfortunately, I do put milk in there and I consume my tea. With Chinese tea though, it's a bit different because you just put, what I'm drinking here is Pu'er. So you put just water for about 30 seconds and then you put it into the tea pitcher and you can be drinking your tea. I think I left this for a little bit too long, so it's less than ideal in my opinion. Whatever it is, you know, this is tea. And when it comes to Chinese tea, we call them cha-bing, which I guess you can translate it to tea biscuits. And you have them in different sizes. And I'll share more about tea in another video as I'm learning more about tea. And this is Pu'er. I got this in Beijing. This is Pu'er from Yunnan. And Yunnan is where you have the best Pu'er, because Pu'er needs to be, the best Pu'er comes from trees that are 800 to 1,000 over years old at least. Over 1,000 years old is much better. So this comes from a place that has, the trees are between 1,000 to 1,500 years old. You can only get them in Yunnan. And they also need to be grown much higher above sea level to get that very, very nice sweetness and flavor. So the way to drink, there are 2 kinds of Pu'er over here. As you can see, this is shampoo, which is, I guess it can be described as raw Pu'er or unfermented Pu'er. The other one is shampoo, which is fermented Pu'er. And they have very different kind of flavors. This is shampoo, which is unfermented. And you can see that the color is quite light. Don't know if you can see. Oh, you can see anyway. I don't know if you can, no, you can't see. I'm gonna pour it out so see if you can see the difference. So it's very, very light and very clear. I just finished a glass of tea, or I just finished a pot of tea, and that's shampoo, which is much darker and intense in flavor. After about a little bit over a year of drinking a lot of Pu'er and just understanding the difference, I want to say that I love shampoo, which is fermented Pu'er. It's just richer. It has a very nice creamier effect. shampoo, which is unfermented, is very nice. It's crisp. It's a little bit more like green tea kind of lightness and crisp to it. Of course, its flavor is 100% different. I prefer shampoo. Just like how I love peated whiskey, I would compare it that way. Compare peated whiskey versus, maybe a sweeter whiskey from the Highlands. The comparison, to me, it's kind of like shampoo, which is the Highland whiskey, and then peated whiskey is like shampoo. The flavors are quite different. Anyway, whatever it is, this is a glimpse to what I think a Renaissance woman is.